Hello everyone, welcome back to my craft room. My name is Wendy and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in North Devon, and I'm also known as the Laptray Crafter. Today's project is this lovely little Easter egg box. Now I made lots of these to put on my table at craft fairs, but unfortunately because of the situation with coronavirus, they're obviously not going to go ahead. They've all been cancelled. But I thought you might like to make them. I'm sure you've got grandchildren or little children, or you've even got neighbours that have got children, and they're going to be so bored by the time we get to Easter. And I thought I would make some more of these, and I'm going to give them to some of my neighbours' children. And I thought that would really cheer them up. Now, they're really easy to make. The stamp set that I got the image from is from this one. This is called Welcome Easter. And as you can see, we've got a chick, a lamb and a rabbit. And that's the one I used here, the rabbit. But I'm going to use this chick today. And it's got some lovely little Easter sayings. And I especially like this one. I mean, that would be lovely for a new baby, wouldn't it? So let's get on and I'll show you what you're going to need. You're going to need a piece of card that measures 4 by 4, and this has been scored on each of the sides at 1 inch. You're going to need 4 shapes. Now I've used the, let me get the punch out, the Label Me Lovely punch. And you're going to need 4 of these. Oh, and by the way, the card that I'm using is Daffodil Delight. So you need 4 of those. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to put it through an embossing folder. So I've used our basket weave embossing folder, and I've left 4 of them on so that you can see you can get 4 on all at once. That saves a heck of a lot of time. And as long as you've got them all going the same way, i.e. with the straight bits at the left and right hand side, then they'll all be in the same direction. You're also going to need a piece of Whisper White card that measures 3/4 of an inch by 3 1/4. And you're going to need a 2 1/4 inch circle. Now I've used our 2 1/4 inch circle punch for this. So let's get on and make this. As I say, it's not a difficult project at all. I'm going to start with the base of my box. So I'm going to cut up just on those score lines there. And then I'm going to take off the score line. So can you see here I've gone to the left hand side of the score line, and then my little wedge goes on the right hand side. And then on this one I'm going to do it on the right hand side, and my wedge will go on the left hand side. So I'm cutting off, I'm cutting off the score line. Can you see? Now I will turn it round, and on the opposite side I will do exactly the same. So I'm doing left hand side, wedge on the right, and then this side, right hand side, and wedge on the left. And the reason we take these little wedgy bits out is just so that it makes our box go together easily. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to cut a little wedge off each of these flaps. Now I find it easier just to do it from the side like this. Some people do it from here, but I just find it easier this way. There we go. So when you've finished, you will have a piece of card that looks like this. Get rid of those bits. Now I need to bring in my bone folder, and I'm going to fold and emboss each of those lines. And because it's a box and we're doing it in card, we can be good and firm with it. Just fold and emboss. There we go. So there can you see, and you can see how easily this box is going to go together. So now let's start to put our box together. So you need some glue. Now my favoured glue is liquid glue, but you could use tear and tape if you prefer. But I'm going to use liquid glue. And then you can fold that, and you'll need to match up, can you see, that straight edge to the fold, like so. Press it until you know it's safely secured, and then just go round all four sides and do that. It's a lovely day here in North Devon. The children have obviously stopped going to school, and I don't know whether you can hear it, but the people that look after the school playing fields are out mowing the lawn, and my craft room looks out over the town and over the school playing fields, and even though the children are not going to be there, they're still going to have to look after the grounds. I mean, they would be playing rugby, I guess, this time of the year, wouldn't they? Then getting ready to play cricket. So the grounds have still got to be looked after. So there we go. It will be interesting also to see how many children are there at school for key workers. I'm sure there's going to be quite a lot. Right, so there we have our little box. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my little pieces. Before I do that, I'm going to put my handle on. Did I tell you about the handle? I don't think I did. This piece of Daffodil Delight is 8 inches by ½ an inch. Now you can have this as long or as short as you like, but I did it this length because I wanted to be able to. So if I put that on there and on there, you can see how much loop there is. Now you can shorten that if you like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back my glue, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue down each side, like so, and then I'm going to attach my handle. So, pressing it down and holding it just for a little while. And did you notice I just ran my fingers over the card just to break the fibres just a little bit so it bends more easily. If you do that, then you'll get that nice round shape. There we go. So there's our handle. Now I'm going to bring in these pieces, and these pieces are going to go on each of the sides. So I'm going to put some glue on here, and then I'm using this straight edge to put my piece on. Now obviously, oh dear, what I forgot was, did I do it that way around? Yes, I did. Now I've put a little bit too much glue on there, but that's okay. You need to make sure that the edges just line up, but don't put too much so it hangs over. In fact, I will hang it over a bit. Let's do it so that it hangs over. In fact, looking at my original, that's what I did. So line up your edges with the edge of your box and just have it hanging over like so. Now I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to bring in the other one, line that up, give it a little press. Now when I was making this, and bearing in mind that there's that little sentiment on the stamp set that says, "Welcome to the world, little one," when I'd done this I thought, that looks like a cradle. Do you think? I thought that could be quite nice. But for this project we're going to put another 2 on. So again, put some glue on the side of your box. The nice thing about a little project like this is you can make it any colour you like. I just thought the Daffodil Delight would be nice because I'm doing a little chick. And as we know, little chicks are either white or sort of a pale lemony colour, aren't they? So that's why I've chosen this colour. Okay, so let's put that aside whilst the glue dries, and you can see we've now got a nice little lip for that to sit on, which I think is quite nice. So we need to do some stamping, and I haven't got my ink out, so let me just get my ink. Ooh, trying not to jiggle the camera. My scissors away, I don't think I need those again at the moment. Right, so what I've done is I've already got my little chick on a block. Let's straighten him up a bit because we can. Okay, and this is Memento black ink because I'm going to do the colouring of the chick with our Stampin' blends. And because this is a water-based and the Stampin' blends are alcohol, that will give us nice clean colouring. So I might have to get my head in the picture. I'm going to try it, see. There we go. Oh, lovely, look at that. Cute little thing. Where's my cleaner thing? Right, here's my chamois. Let's give me my stamp pad. There we go. Give it a bit of a clean. It's only got water in this, so that will clean that for the moment. Now I'm going to bring in my little piece of Whisper White card, and I've got my happy birthday on a block. Now what I need to do is I'm going to try and get it closest to this right hand edge as I can. Okay, like so. Oh, there's a really funny noise outside the window. I don't know what it is. It sounds like a drone or something. Or it might just be them using a strimmer on the edge of the grass. Right, so that's that. So let's clean that stamp. Right, let's do a little bit of colouring. Right, so I've got a light Daffodil Delight blend and a light pumpkin pie blend. Now, do you know, it's funny, I've only just bought the pumpkin pie blends because I thought, what will I use them for? Well, there you go, I've got a use for it now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour in the little comb, the beak, and his feet. And I'm using the firm end of the blend. There we go, so that's that. Now we'll bring in the Daffodil Delight, and I think I'm going to use the watercolour end. Can you see it's longer and it's a bit softer, so it's kind of like a brush. I'm just going to colour in the edges. So I'm just going to go round it all once, like so. And then I'm going to go over it again. And because I'm using it, putting it on a second time, I'm hoping that that might create a darker shadow around the edge. We will see. If not, I can go over it with the other end. Yeah, it has a little bit, yeah. Go over it a bit more. I'm going to use the firmer end. Oops. Always put the lid on your blends, because otherwise the alcohol will evaporate. Oh, that's better, look. Can you see that's a bit darker now? Just doing little circular movements just to create a bit of shadow around the edges of his body. And that makes it look a bit like feathers as well, I think. There we go. Cool, I do love the smell of our alcohol markers. There we go, so let's leave that to dry just a little bit. It won't take long. And let's deal with our little tag. Now, on the, can you see, this is the parcel that we're going to make, and we need to make a hole in the top of our little label. So what I've used is, I'm going to use our delightful tag topper punch. Now this is really useful because you can use 1 inch, 1.5 or 2 inch widths of card. Now this is 3/4 of an inch, so it's going to flap about a bit, but there's, can you see, there's 2 little sort of indented lines there. So what I'm doing is I'm just, oh, in fact it's too small, but I'm using that as a guide. Right, so I'm putting it into my punch. I'm keeping my thumb on it to try and keep it straight. It is a bit fiddly. And then can you see I've turned it over and I can see now where that hole's going to go. So I want that, can you see, I want that piece of card to be in the centre of that punch. And I'm holding it in place and punching. There we go. And we've got a nice little decorative top to our little banner. Okay, so let's bring in our box again. Yeah, bring in our box, and I'm now going to put my chick on the front. Now on this one, I put it so that the chick was on the same side as the label, but on this one I'm going to put it on here. I don't think it really matters which side it is. I just like to do something a bit different. So here we go. So there, and that just fits on there just nicely. There we go. Be careful you don't put too much glue around the top edge. Okay, good. There we go. Right, so let me get some Easter eggs. These are just from a bag of Easter eggs that I think I got from the co-op. How many have I put in there? I put 7 in there. That's a nice little number. It feels nice and heavy as well. So now I'm going to bring in one of our lovely faceted, no, they're not called faceted, they're gusseted, that's the word I'm looking for, little bags, and they're 3 inches by 9 inches. Have I got the packet here? Yes, I have. There we go. And they're printed with little stars. Look, can you see? And you get 25 in a pack. And there they go, 25 in a pack. And I've got a feeling they're about £6.50, but let me just check for you. They're in our little mini catalogue, and they are part of, yeah, they're part of the Birthday Bonanza suite. Oh yes, £6.50, I was right. Oh, and they're food safe. So if you're into baking, you could probably put some little biscuits or some little cakes in there, or even perhaps a muffin. They would go in there, wouldn't they? But I'm going to use this to put my basket in. So what I'm doing is I'm sticking my hand in to get that flat bottom, alright? And then I'm going to drop my basket in there. This basket's quite heavy. There we go. And that fits in there just nicely. Can you see? Fits in there just nicely. So, now I'm going to use some white twine. Now you could use any twine, and I've just had a thought. Why don't I colour the twine to match the colour of our little chick? Let me get a silicone mat. You don't need one of those, but I just prefer to use it. As long as you've got your in fact, I'll just show it to you because you may not have one. As long as you've got something to cover up your work surface. In fact, I've got a piece here I've used before for some stamping, so let's use that one. And I'm going to bring in my Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to colour. Can you see? I'm just holding it flat and running it through. And I'm not pulling too hard, I'm pulling quite gently because I don't want to damage the tip of my and you can do this with ribbon as well. There we go. So that's given our twine a bit of colour. Snip that off. And what I'm going to do, bring in my bag, and I'm going to tie this around my bag. Then I'm going to feed this on. If I'm going to tie a knot, just so that doesn't come undone. Because sometimes I find a bow is not strong enough. So let's just feed this on here. Okay, like so. And then I'm going to tie a bow. Snip that off because that started to unravel a little bit. That's fine. There we go. And there's our little Easter chick box with eggs inside. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching me make that, and perhaps you'll have a go and make some little Easter box treats for some children that you might know, or even adults might like this little gift as well. Okay, so I will do a blog post, and I'll put the sizes of everything so that you can recreate it. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.